So I want to ask you guys. So we have the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. As Mike knows, last year was Kansas City because he remembers watching that game and watching the Chiefs win that Super Bowl. So this year's favorites obviously are going to be the Chiefs again, but the Chiefs and Ravens, depending on which sporting book you pick, it's almost a toss-up. Right now, the Chiefs are the favorite. Niners are up there in third. And then the Saints as well. So let me start with you, Mike. Actually, no, let's skip that. Len, let's start with you. Who are you?
Wow.
Well, I mean, let's at least get someone who's going to understand who's playing and can tell me who they think should win the Super Bowl. Who do you think is going to represent both the NFC and AFC in the Super Bowl, and who do you think will pull it off this year?
I still, I mean, it's still the Chiefs. I mean, when you have the weapons that they have in Mahomes on offense, I mean, yeah, they lack on defense, but and usually, I mean, I'll look at a team, and when elite teams, when we start getting the playoffs, these offenses start to sputter because now they're not playing the Browns defense or a bad defense. They're playing, top defenses, and that's like when you see and yes, I hate the Ravens, but I think that's kind of the thing that happened with the Ravens when they during the regular season they could do all these things, but when they start getting into playing against teams that have better defenses, it can stifle a more one-dimensional offense. But when you look at the Chiefs, I mean, just their offense, Mahomes is just going to be, he's just on another level. I mean, we grew up, JD, watching Montana play and then Steve Young, so we've seen great quarterbacks week in and week out, and I mean, we watch them every week, not just the highlights or the Super Bowl or whatever. We know what great quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, do on a weekly basis, and Mahomes is just at a different level. He makes it the thing that great quarterbacks make it look easy. Like they're not really even trying. I mean, they look calm, collective. I mean, Joe Cole, right? Calm, collective in the pocket, and Mahomes he just looks like he's just playing, street ball. I mean, his arm talent is off the roof, and then he has the physical traits to go along with it. So it'll be hard to beat them. I mean, if their defense just keeps up and holds up, and who they have on offense, it's just hard to say. And the 49ers, I think, did overachieve last year, but I mean, I think I was skeptical about Shanahan coaching, to be honest. I just wasn't sure about him. I saw him in Cleveland and other areas, and there's still questions about him, like how he coached the game. There's things that we talked about this. But I mean, I think they're still up there. I mean, and as much as I hate to say with the Ravens, I mean, that just their running game, they can control the game so easily, and their defense is. I would say their defense is a bigger reason why the Ravens are a top 3 to 5 team in the league. I mean, their defense, and they just got better, with the defensive line. So, New Orleans is still up there. I still think the Chiefs.
Okay, I mean, I going to go in the NFC.
I don't really have a favorite in the NFC. I mean, it's to me, it's definitely between the Saints or the 49ers. I can see the Saints. I mean, they're right there, but I think it could be. I think it could be, the same Super Bowl as last year easily.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer clearly because the season's about to start this week. So injuries will always play into a season, and it suddenly changes the dynamics of everything. But just guessing at this point, beginning of the season, that's where you go. All right, Mike, it's up to you now. What do you got?
To be honest with you, one thing I did, if I look back in history when I used to watch it, I know the Ravens always had a strong defense. That's what usually got them there. And I think they'll make an adjustment. So if I had to go based on stats and what you guys are giving and information, I think if the Ravens have a stronger defense and make the adjustments, especially with a high-powered offense, and in the Super Bowl, when it comes down to it, the best defense wins because if they can stop an offense, then it's pretty much game over. So I would see the Ravens can possibly do it. For the NFC team, hearing about the Niners and the New Orleans Saints, I can't say. I mean, the Niners, making it to the Super Bowl last year, I'm sure they might make some adjustments to that. And what they had to go through. So not 100% sure for the Saints, but yeah, there is no wrong or right answer. I mean, anyone can make it up there. But for me, I just see it could be the Ravens and the Niners, and I think the Ravens will take it.
Cool. Yeah.
Defense.
So my thought, I mean, you're right. Defense always wins the games. The Niners actually were dominating the Chiefs based on their run game and their defense. The defense would get stops, and the run game would just run them out, and they'd never get any spark going. Where that failed, to Len's point, the thing that irritates me the most with Kyle Shanahan, love him too. I think he's a great coach. He gets in his own head. He goes away from what works. He wants to prove he can do something else. This happened with the Atlanta Falcons blowing a 28-7 lead against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
23.
Or was it 23? That was 28. Anyway, the point is they were up by a lot, right? And the fact is he went to passing. The problem with passing is if you don't catch the ball, it's like 3 plays, 10 seconds burn off. That's it.
Yep.
Because they're all incompletes, right? And so he did that in the Super Bowl. Same thing. He wanted Jimmy G to suddenly start passing it, and it's like, why? Just run. So anyway, that was disappointing to watch. But is a blueprint for beating Mahomes and the Chiefs.
There is.
It's the same thing as always. And
But they give him chances, and that was the problem. I mean, they allowed him to get back into the game.
Yeah, but the Niners knew what was working. Offensively, they went away from it. They blew it.
I never understood why teams would always do that. This has gone through history a long time. You control the clock by running the ball. That's a given. That's golden
as long
rule.
as you're running, right? If you're averaging 2 yards per carry, then sure, but you're going to go down 3 downs and out, so to speak, and it's not worth it. You're right, but if you're averaging, and let's not even get into the Seahawks losing the Super Bowl against Patriots with Marshawn Lynch, but it's another example of a running game was dominating. The Niners were averaging 3 to 4 yards per carry. To me, that's like 3 downs. You get 3 to 4. You're always at third down. You're always making it a possibility of less than 3 yards to go.
Yep.
You're going to probably get it.
Right.
So, and they also had the best tight end in the game. So it's not like they were struggling offensively, but they just went away from him. So anyway, to get back to the question that I'd asked, which is who's the AFC and NFC representatives. So it's the AFC. I want to say Baltimore, primarily because exactly what I just said. The way to beat the Chiefs is run it, which Ravens can do, and a strong defense, both of which are true. The Chiefs' defense is pretty poor. It's average at best. I think average at best, yeah. More last year than normal, but they're average at best. Offensively, yeah. I mean, Mahomes can make plays still happen. It's another Russell Wilson and whatnot. They can keep it alive with their legs. He's got an arm. He sees it. Some of those plays in the Super Bowl were just straight up luck, but it doesn't matter. He threw it and they caught it, and that's all that matters.
Right.
But he has great receivers, at least speed receivers. They're all speed.
Well, then you have Kelsey.
Yeah, exactly. Kelsey's good. He's the second, maybe third.
I'd say so.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Ravens right now. I am actually going to stick to what a lot of fan favorites are, is the Ravens. As far as the NFC goes, I mean, my heart tells me Niners, right? That they'll pull it off and get there, but it's hard to repeat regardless in any case, just because there's that challenge.
Yeah.
But being that it's a COVID year, there's not going to really be fans per se. I think that's where it gets tricky. So I'm actually going to stick with Niners for now, but I'll tell you this: I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks came along and somehow got the Super Bowl for the NFC. So those are sort of mine too. But yeah, it's early. Like we said, that's the beauty of the season. We can pick now.
What do you think about the no preseason?
I'm fine with
it. So am I.
Thanks for watching our latest video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe below and also share it with friends. And as always, feel free to leave comments.